Good morning, Silvia. It's day 16 of our adventure, and this morning we're in Panguitch, Utah, and we're going to Blanding, Utah. And we stayed in a motel. It doesn't look like much. It's the Blue, I think it's called the Blue Pine Motel. And it doesn't look like much from the outside, but it's one of the best places I've stayed in the whole trip. And today we're going to see some beautiful red rock country in southern Utah. Probably some snow-covered peaks. So let's get on the road. The Blue Pine Motel. I highly recommend it if you're ever in Panguitch, Utah. Hello, Silvia. It's me again. This is day 17 of our adventure, and so far it's not much of an adventure. This is one of those days where we spend 2 nights in one place so I can edit video and rest and give you a rest. And we went out once today already and got a cheeseburger, but now it's over late afternoon. We're going to run down to Monument Valley and watch the sunset. That should be fun. So let's do it. I made it safely home. The last 3 or 4 days, I really just was trying to get home and avoid the rain. I traveled about 400 miles per day, and every day threatened rain, but I really only had about an hour of rain on Thursday. Got back Friday, and I thought I would give you a little bit of detail about the expenses on the trip. I had one commenter on a YouTube video that was curious about the cost of a trip like this, so I thought I would wrap up my final video with a little bit of information about the cost. I traveled 6,974 miles in 22 days, so say 7,000 miles. I burned 213 gallons of gas, had an average miles per gallon of 32.74. I spent $761 on gas, and that worked out to an average price per gallon of $3.57. Now, some men will say that they get better miles per gallon with their motorcycle, and they do. But I have an oversized windshield. It's wider than stock. And I tow the trailer, and I ride about 5 to 8 miles per hour over the speed limit when I'm on the freeway just trying to get somewhere. I don't ride that fast when I'm enjoying the scenery, but when you're just trying to get from point A to point B, that's what I do. Now in the eastern states, I can get from 35 to 38 miles per gallon, but out west with the wind all the time hitting you from some direction and rarely in the rear, I'll average 28 to 31. So overall for the entire trip, I got almost 33 miles to the gallon. As far as motels, I stay in the chain motels like Days Inn, Super 8, Motel 6, etc. On this trip, I stayed in one mom and pop motel, the Blue Pine Motel, and it was excellent. I've actually found that the independent motels, the one-of-a-kind motels in small towns, are usually better than the chain motels. I spent $1,626 on motels for 21 nights. And that works out to an average of about $77 per night. One of those places was the Castle, which was $155 for the night, bed and breakfast. And I got one night free. As far as food, I went cheap this trip. There's a Walmart in every small town now, and I often just went to the local Walmart before going to the motel at night, and they have salads to go. I did that several times. Every motel room now has a microwave, so I got chicken pot pies a couple of nights. At the end of the day, I just don't want to go out and have a sit-down meal. I'd rather just lay in my motel room and rest and mess with the video. I figured that I spent less than $30 a day for food and miscellaneous. So the motel $16.26, gas $7.61, food and miscellaneous $30 a day. That comes out to $660. So I spent about $3,000 on the whole trip, everything, for 22 days. And just some advice for motels: take it or leave it. But I like to reserve my motels ahead of time, and there's a number of reasons for that. I get to pick those with good ratings. I can look at Google Maps Street View and Satellite View and see if it looks like it's in a good location or it's got safe parking for the motorcycle. There's only about 4 or 5 major companies that own most of the chain motels that I like to stay in. I'm a member of their rewards program. So using that rewards number, you can get a discount on the room, and sometimes AARP will give you a better discount. So by reserving the rooms ahead of time online, I can play with the different discount programs and get the best rate. I can avoid the tourist areas. You might go into Moab thinking no big deal, and the rooms are $300 a night at a Super 8 or Quality Inn. But you can go down the road 30 or 40 miles and get one for $80. So doing all this ahead of time avoids sticker shock. It's quicker check-in. At the end of the day, you're not giving them all your information, your email address, all that. All you have to do is just tell them your name or your confirmation number, and you're good. You sign one piece of paper and you're good to go. It's less stressful at the end of the day if you're not trying to find a motel. You're already tired, it's late in the day, and this way I know that I've got a room waiting for me, and that actually takes a lot of stress out of traveling. And the last thing that I like about reserving the motels ahead of time is it keeps me from doing too much in one day. I'm the type of person that I'll keep trying to do one more thing. I can go another 30 miles, and reserving the rooms ahead of time prevents me from doing that. I know that there's enough time to do the entire trip because I figure out how many miles there are between each motel stay, and I keep that reasonable. And also, if there's some place that I'm really enjoying and it's noon or 1 o'clock and I've only got 100 miles to go and I've already got the motel room, I don't feel rushed. I got plenty of time to enjoy myself. So as I've gotten older, I've found that I really enjoy having the rooms already reserved, and that's done. One less thing to worry about. And if you like maps, I would suggest that you go to our website, ourretirementantics.com, and look at the menu on the top, and there's one for maps. And click on that, and there's one for national trails, and that's what the Oregon Trail, the California Trail, Mormon Trail, those are collectively called the national trails. And on that map, you can see the track log of my travels. You can see all the points that I visited and took photos of. You click on those icons and you get a photo of that place, a little brief description, and then a link to the blog that contains the video, 360 photos, and more information. On those maps, you can also display the California Trail, Mormon Trail, Oregon Trail. You can select or deselect any of those things on the map. It's actually a lot of fun. If you like maps, you will really enjoy that one. I just want to say thank you for all the folks that subscribe and watch my videos and left comments. I really enjoy the comments. And this trip, you had to be a little bit of a history buff to really enjoy the content. There were some scenic views also, but you had to be a history buff. But hopefully you got something out of it. If you like this type of content or just enjoy watching someone tour the country on a motorcycle, please subscribe. My wife and I, in the very near future, will be taking a cruise to Norway on Holland America, and I've found that there's a lot more interest in cruise videos than there are motorcycle videos. So if that's your thing, also subscribe. There will be content coming soon for that. So again, thank you, and I'll see you on the next ride.